Hello everyone, this is RCK. I'm glad to have you back here again today. I will be bringing you the next part of the Caelum series. The episode is going to include turn 29, 30, 31, and 32. I went ahead and looked over a good bit of it just to refresh myself, and we have some very, very interesting battles ahead of us, of course. Um, Now let me go ahead and start the uh, turn. So here we'll go ahead and look at it. Looks like we finished research and construction being level 3, and we're going to finish up level 4 shortly. We found a magic site, sparkling fields. I'll go ahead and check. That is just the Air 1 site, which is really, really great for us. This mage did not find a site, neither did this one, but this one here did. The boiling bog. I can't remember if that's a water nature gem. No, it's a water fire. Okay, well, it makes sense for boiling, but so it produces a fire gem and a water gem for us. Really, really nice. I just don't want to show the battles and stuff and show you how they turned out before we watch them, of course. That's why I'm so zoomed in. There is another assassination attempt in Mayu. Um, Not really going to watch it. It was just a general there. And the spider won again, of course, causing us a lot of pain. One of our crippled units died on the march. And we have a first battle here. If you remember from the last episode, we are attacking a handful of independent provinces now that the war has came to a close with Colossa. Boggerworld will be the throne province that is in the south of our nation. And I will go ahead and view the battle. Brought a decent amount of Spirehorn warriors with us, along with a Eagle King. And if you remember, we were already bounced off of this one time, and these are our troops just cleaning them back up. There's very few left. And there go the sages, and the barbarians won't be far behind them. And they didn't even have to fight. And if anyone ever wonders what to do, just put them on, I guess, just attack rear, and they'll just walk. They should have flew over. I'm not entirely sure on why they didn't fly. It's very odd. And we'll go ahead and watch the other battles, of course. We had a battle in Norfangs, and we'll watch it. Now, this is the province that had the troglodytes in it. If you remember, a very, very large amount of troglodytes, for a matter of fact. I think it was around 20 some to 30 almost. And we will see our elephants in effect. I'll pause it real fast. The purpose of the elephants is that the most damage that the troglodytes do is going to be in their trample damage. Other than that, they have a claw attack. Due to the fact of the elephants being size 6 and the troglodytes being size 4, the elephants will be able to trample the troglodytes, where the troglodytes won't be able to trample the elephants back because the elephants are of a larger size. We also bought some mercenaries just to throw in there. One elephant was lost. We have some air elementals coming in. They're still doing their thing. Another elephant was lost. We have all of our mages, or all of our Spirehorn warriors on attack rear. And at this point, it would seem that we took out their leadership. But it also seems like the Spirehorn warriors do a very, very good job at kind of alpha striking those troglodytes out. If you saw there, we just had a few just disappear out of the blue. And I feel like this is just from their very, very low protection and the chances of a Spirehorn warrior getting the first strike on them versus them actually being able to trample the Spirehorn warrior. There goes the last couple. And he's out of here. So, decent battle in Northing, so I'm glad we ended up winning. We have a battle in Flemingstein. This was a province that revolted against us, and we are just here to take it back from the few militia that hold it. It's interesting that they haven't already ran, since I don't actually see a commander in this group. But I guess due to an event, I don't think it matters if they had a commander or not. Well, I guess they had. Very interesting. They just had militia commanders, I guess. Next we have a battle here in Northen, and we will watch that. And all this is us pinging the next throne. Now this throne here is the throne in the northeast part of our nation. It had all of the horse archers in it, as you can tell. And other than that, you can see we have a few conjurers and wizards, being a Death 2, Water 1, with a few Death and Water gems. We have a Blood 2, Astral 1, Death 1, with a couple gems. And then we also have a Fire 1, Air 1, Astral 1, with a couple gems. So very, very interesting. It makes me wonder what, well, you can already tell from the top here, one of the Death mages, probably this Death 2 here, yeah, it is this Death 2, it's casting a Horde of Skeletons. Other than that, I'm not sure on what they would cast with their gems, so we'll have to keep that in mind. And of course, arrows are a bit scary for us since our troops don't have helmets or shields. Well, no, we do have shields, we just don't have helmets. Yeah, we do have shields. And next, we have a very, very interesting battle here, which is why I flew one of my scouts over. If you remember, near the end of the last episode, Pythium, or after Satis took Mikland and killed Mikland, Pythium actually came over and started to siege Satis in Mikland's capital. So we have a very, very interesting battle here, and I'm very glad that we were able to catch that with our scouting reports. Other than that, I feel like Pythium actually messaged me at this point and asked me to join in a war with Satis, and I declined him. So we will go ahead and jump into watching this battle. So already looking at the battle on the Satisian side, we have a lot of charioteers, I see a lot of slave warriors, and we have a lot of mages here. We're probably looking at a good 40 mages almost from the Satisan army. And then he also has a Mermekliakon or something. Let me click on it. Mormeklion. What it is a ant lion, half ant, half lion, and this is his god. From what I assume, he probably very much took scales almost and took a awake pretender. Took a awake pretender and scales because he wouldn't have wanted to bless even though he took revigoration +2. I assume that's going to be for his communion slaves that he's going to be using, which are these shamans, since they are also sacred. Just to give them a bit of a buff as far as them taking fatigue. And we have a lot of Death 2s here, being the Reborn. And we all know what a good Death 2 can cast, of course, is Horde of Skeletons, and they're going to be casting it a lot. Other than that, we have some Amazons in here, or Crystal Sorcerers, I'm sorry. Amazons are over there, but we do have a couple Crystal Sorceresses. So, in my mind, I can see them going either, well, I highly doubt they're going to be communion slaves. I put my money on them being communion masters. They also have some Pegasus riders. So a very, very large army from Satis, and we will go and take a look at the other player in this, and being Ermor. A very, very large amount of cavalry or sacred cav that they have. They have definitely brought everything to this fight. If anything, I definitely see I wish they had more on this front line here. So we see some fire gems, most likely going to be a communion master, possibly casting fire elemental, maybe some there. The only reason why I say fire elemental is because of how far they are in the front. Due to that, I mean, you don't want your troops to run forward and then fire elementals coming behind them catching your troops on fire. Just by the way they're spaced out and the way they have the troops lined here, I just feel like they're going to be casting fire elementals. Other than that, I assume all of these troops here are more than likely going to be masters, while all these back here are going to be slaves. It seems like we also have a decent amount of javelin troops back here in the back for Ermor as well. But it's really going to be his mage corps that's going to be dealing damage and the amount of cavalry that he has brought to the battle here. Other than that, I will talk about the formation of Satis here. Really, really nice. I feel like, I mean, of course, he's kind of doing the same thing that Ermor is doing with his fire elementals, but he wants the skeletons in first because he wants the skeletons to take the punishment. What skeletons are going to do, they're not going to be putting points against you as far as the total or HP of the battlefield, so you don't have to worry about too many of them dying and your troops routing. On top of that, they're going to be a very, very nice front line against a large amount of cavalry that is going to be charging. I assume that the charioteers are going to be on hold in attack, just to fill in the ranks after the skeletons have taken most of the hits. Also, in that the slave warriors are fitting the same thing, or filling the same role. I'm not sure what he's going to be having, whatever communion masters here casting what. I assume these are all slaves, and that's a communion master, but I don't know why he would have so many slaves to one communion master, not unless, well, like I said before, these are going to be, more than likely be communion masters as well, and due to the fact that they're not the same paths as the shamans, they're going to take a lot of extra fatigue, and that's probably why he's brought so many slaves. More than likely, that's the reason why they're. Other than that, we see that there are some more reborn in the back. I was wondering if he had. I just see holy ones and stuff. I don't see a prophet or anything, but he has brought his god, of course. So this is going to be a very, very large battle, and we'll take it slowly so we can go through and really see all the different research that everyone has. So from the looks of it, as I said before, Satis already has Horde of Skeletons, meaning they are at Enchantment 5, which is relatively high. Not very high. It's actually their first research goal, in my opinion. And as you can see here, this is what they're going to do with it. Other than that, I was right. These are all masters. That's master. These are slaves. There's a master right there. But as far as that goes, I have called it. So master, master, master. Yep. Let's see here. Master. All these are masters. And Ermor does bring a Holy 3, being one of their archbishops that do have a healer ability. So really, really cool, be able to easily bless all the cavalry that he has. Yes, I was correct on all these here being masters, and then from the looks, all of these here are slaves. And he does bring his prophet too, which honestly enough, I probably wouldn't have brought your prophet into the battle, due to the fact that you already have a Holy 3 here. And at that point, you run the risk of your prophet dying. I mean, if you really want his prophet to die, it's not too hard to kill a scout. But I don't know. I didn't notice he had his prophet there before when I watched this battle originally either, or while I was in the game. So we will unpause and play it again. Honestly enough, I don't feel like the archers that Satis brought are going to be able to do much damage at these tower shields, but any damage, I guess, is better than no damage at all. So over here we also see castings of Enslaved Mind. Um, if I'm not mistaken, a Slave Mind is a Thaumaturgy 5 spell. Um, we will also see what else he casts. So there goes the fire elementals like I spoke about. So I can already tell that Ermor has Thaumaturgy 5 and Conjuration 5. Um, so my assumption is that they have better research than I do, or higher research. Just being at 2 level 5s already, I think I'm at a level 5, a level, and 2 level 3s maybe, or maybe a level 4 and 2 level 3s. Um, could just be the fact that he just picked those in particular and didn't spread anything else out, because I did spread out a little bit. Other than that, what is going on here? Just some castings of aim, Phoenix powers, so their god is doing their script. Just more Horde of Skeletons casting. So at this point here, you see that this is the first wave of skeletons, and this is the second. Being a Def 2, I think it's around 50 fatigue to do a Horde of Skeletons cast. Possibly a little bit more. I will definitely have to check up on that, but due to the fact that they have casted twice at this point, and they're at 105 fatigue, it could possibly be more than 50, but so around this time, I am pretty sure that the Reborn can probably cast it one more time. I feel like their fatigue is going to drop low enough for them to cast it one more time. So we'll have 3 waves of skeletons in the front lines. What was cast? Can't tell. I bet that was Divine Blessing, actually. You also see Soul Slay being cast too. Just another way to tell that Ormor is at level 5 Thaumaturgy. Let's see. Enslave Mind. I assume that was Ermor since they are at level 5 Thaumaturgy. I just assumed that was them that cast it and not Satius. You have your Archer Varley going off here. Their fatigue is at 100. That one's a little bit lower. 100. So they will be able to get 3 waves of skeletons off. Might be a little mixed in here. So at this point now, I will go off and start looking at the... I see him cast Personal Regeneration, and what that's actually going to do is give all of your Communion slaves personal regen as well, being 10%. Hopefully enough, he won't need it. If fatigue goes high enough, he is going to start taking damage, and that's why he cast the spell. So once he starts taking damage, he can at least get some of it back, so he can last a little bit longer. Usually enough, if you want to do something like this, you need like giant communion slaves, in order to really get enough HP to not worry about dying. Other than that, you see your couple more Horde of Skeletons cast going off, so they're about to have another line of skeletons intermingled with these troops here. The first group of skeletons have came to the front lines of the Ormor troops, or the Ormor flanking troops. Very interesting that the Pegasus Riders have jumped in. They're probably on attack cav, maybe, or attack closest. And they have entangled up these sacred Shroud troops and are kind of holding them up there for a second. These full-size fire elementals being size 6, with their heat and fire shield and rest of it, they're going to be able to deal a lot of damage to these skeletons and really tear them apart. Really smart on Ormor to be casting these in front, knowing that Satius already has Horde of Skeletons. Some of them are getting a little intermingled there, but it is alright. We will sit back and watch the battle. At this point, you see any skeleton that's actually coming up to this troop is just getting annihilated. With attack skill, magic weapons, defense skill, magic resistance, strength, and combat speed, it's just going to be able to chop them up. Defense skill of 21 means the skeletons aren't really going to be able to hit them back either. and they're just going to do a great job at just tearing through them. Just the same over here, and then you have your fire elementals holding the front. I and you can see all these little lines over here is castings of enslaved mind or soul slay or mind something mind something, I can't remember the name of it. So they are taking units out, the mages, community masters are, and we will play the battle again. See some banishments coming down. This flank here is getting stopped by charioteers, and so is this one. The skeletons are being ate up by the fire elementals and cav. It seems like this side over here is getting overrun for sure. I can see the charioteers trampling and pushing the cav out of the way. At this point, the cavalry is getting more and more surrounded, and it's only a matter of time. Also, another thing here is that there's a very, very long line of troops, so any breaks in that is going to cause, well, the charioteers are going to trample and push them around anyway. And with that happening, the more surface area the Cetician army will have on the Sacred Shroud troops over here, causing the defense skill to go down ultimately, and causing them to die and take more damage. Whereas these over here, we still have a decent amount of troops, or cav, compared to the amount of charioteers that are here at the moment. The fire elementals are still doing work. It looks like one fire elemental is down to a size 1 with 1 hit point, has taken a fair bit of damage. These mages back here are still casting as much as they can. Even, all the slaves, the fatigue's not too bad. If they were already at 175 or 180, that you'd probably be worried about that. We're running a little bit hot on your slaves. It wouldn't seem like he sent his god in. I wonder what. I know it casts Phoenix Power or Phoenix Power and stuff like that, but I'm not sure otherwise. The Reborn are still fatigued out for a long time, or not a long time, but a good, decent amount of time. Looks like there's one of them that's able to cast. I bet it was the one that has 142. I bet he just cast Horde of Skeletons again. And everyone else is fatigued out for a while, so they are out of this. And if you see here, we do see some thunder strikes going, be it by these. Which one is that? Juna. And that is the Crystal Sorceress here. So we can actually tell that Cetis is at Evocation 5 as well, which is very, very interesting. So they have a handful of nice evocation spells at their whim, I guess. Makes me wonder what they're using it for. I know like Shadow Blast and stuff for the Death Mages are an evocation. I was really surprised to see him go evocation that far. Makes me just wonder for sure at this point in the game. So, as far as what we can take from this battle, Cetis has Enchantment 5 at least, and then he also has Evocation 5. Whereas Ermor has Thaumaturgy 5 and Conjuration 5. So it's very, very interesting. Definitely two different research styles. Definitely. I mean, you are playing with almost two completely different nations, of course. But it's interesting how you're at this point in the game and two people have not researched the same things at all, in a way. And you're seeing how their battles are doing. And I feel like there's a possibility that. Oh, I'm sorry, I knocked my mic there. The possibility that Ermor could have definitely. I don't know. From the looks of this, I feel like Ermor's definitely losing this at this point. His Sacreds are trying their best to hold on. His middle word I'm looking for, Vanguard here, is definitely completely gone. And then his Sacreds are now routing, and all that's left is his masters and slaves that are going to be sitting ducks for all the mages, or not all the mages, all the charioteers and slaves that are coming in. I see a few of the masters running, but these slaves are still sitting there. Here, and here's a really, really long line or large group of charioteers just absolutely mowing down the slaves as these few javelin troops are running away. What do they call it? Interesting. And that was the battle, and we will look at the report. One Crystal Sorceress died. They did end up killing 39 troops with their Thunderstrike attacks. Really, really nice. 23 Elite Warriors, 33 Chariots, and then 9 Pegasus Riders. Chariots are rather expensive, so that is a fairly big loss. 45 gold apiece. Pegasus Riders are 45 gold apiece. Elite Warriors, 15 apiece, relatively cheap. Other than that, Crystal Sorceress, 100 gold. But the big losses come from Ermor here, losing. From the looks of it, he lost his prophet. That mage is still alive. He lost 2 centurions, so 2 leaders. He lost 20 mages. A pretty big deal. His his archbishop is still alive, and his acolyte is dead, being just a holy one. I'm both outside, so I told you the prophet is gone. Let me take a sip of water real fast. All right. The equites of the sacred shroud. 66 are lost. That is a very large amount of sacreds, or cap only sacreds to lose at this point in the game. There's no way you could possibly have much more than what's left from this battle. Yeah, 2 lost, 2 Hastades, 2 levies, Rorus, lost 68, lost 4 standards. So during this battle, even though Ermor is definitely the aggressor, he took a very, very considerable loss at this point in the game, and this is very, very worrisome for him. This is also the reason why I didn't join in with him. I was very doubtful that he would have been able to really pressure Satis back. Yes, if I joined, things could have always turned out differently, of course, but I didn't feel like I was in a very comfortable spot to fight more than likely the game leader at this point in the game. I mean, just due to what he's able to bring to the battlefield, being 11, 20 heirs. So I mean, he's bringing 30 mages to the battle already. And I just don't have that at this point in the game. Not saying that my mages are bad, but the mages that I have are just Air 1s. Um, his mages, his research corps is just so much better than mine as far as the battlefield goes. Mine are much cheaper. Mine are mine are much more research point effective. Um, but his entire mage corps can really effectively be thrown into any battlefield and do a great job. I'm not saying that mine can't. Of course, you can do things like summon storm power and a storm and other stuff, and they go up to air 2s, and you can do a lot of things from there. I'm not saying that not saying mine are crap. Just saying that his are very, very nice, and that he has a lot going on for him right now. Other than that, I wonder if he did like a chariot expansion, seeing how many lizard heirs and how many lizard chariots that he has. It makes me wonder that. Those troops are also very, very good. They are size 4, I believe, and I will click on them. Yes, they are size 4. The way he had them scripted, I don't feel like my birds would have won this. Definitely not. Definitely, or even due to, even when the added power of me getting first strike and me maybe hitting a bunch of his mages and taking them out, all of the horde of skeletons, all the rest of that, it's just going to really bog down my birds. And the longer I'm in the battle, the worse it's going to get. Other than that, he could also most definitely cast things like foul vapors at this point, since he does have enchantment 5. I would be much very scared of that for my nation. Probably wouldn't do it due to the fact that he's been bringing crystal sorceresses and Amazons and other non-lizard um, units. But yeah, Ermor definitely took a big loss here, and I feel like at this point Satis is going to start pushing. Um, so we will see. We had an event in Mag. We had an event in Vulcan. We gained a lab, which is really cool. We gained 3 water mages. That's really awesome. We saw a battle that happened in Forbidden Fields, and it's just barbarians that are attacking Satis. Defenders of the fort are repairing faster than we can siege it. And we'll go ahead and look at the battle screen for this. So we have our troops moving over to take out this last Machacan fort. If you notice here that Machaca actually lost their capital, we should have had a sense of scout over there, but it's been sieged for so long, I honestly forgot about it. So it looks like Vanheim is going to go take the last fort over there, and I'll be taking this fort. Other than that, we did take back a good bit of independence. We're sending this mercenary into the death match. We're building a palisade here in Northangs due to the fact that it has an entrance in it that gives a conjuration bonus, and we will be taking full advantage of that. We are searching. We're moving some mages. Searching death. We are searching with astral nature now. We are building another palisade in 140 along with the one in 95. We are not building one yet in the throne. We are moving off of it though. We have we have a mage coming in, more than likely going to either do that or site search for air. We're moving this unit here with some troops with air gems to reinforce this and bring the air gems to the Eagle King. Sending more Def 2s and Air 2s around the site search. We have a Earth, Water, Death site searching, and we're moving out all of the Jade Sorceresses so we can start site searching for Nature and Water. We are moving all of these mages here. We're site searching with the Water 2, which is really nice to have, and we are moving with the Water 1s. We are site searching with the Def 2, and we're site searching with the Eagle King. So in a Seraphine. So we're really trying to really increase the amount of gem income that we have at this point in the game. At this point, I did not want to get in another war very, very quickly. And if I did, I was wanting to be in a very decisive war that we didn't have to worry from taking too many losses. At this point, looking from what we have, about 150 birds here, another 100, so that's 250. That's roughly it's roughly about 300 there. 400. 500. I'd say roughly around 600 units at this point in the game, mostly being Spirehorn Warriors, or majority of them being that. Yes, we do have a decent amount of mages, but they're all researching, and we probably have 3 to 4 Eagle Kings. We are starting the Shaman production and the George Sorceress production. Definitely the Shamans we want for sure, and we want a lot of them, being our astral source here. Other than that, just looking at the amount of gems we actually get is actually not too bad at this point in the game, being turn 29. We're getting 7 fire, 10 air, 11 water, 8 earth, 2 astral, 2 death, and 10 nature. So really, really high in nature. I'm definitely trying to work on death and astral, trying to really increase those up. I really want a lot of those. Other than that, water, earth, is relatively high. Air is not as high as I would want it to be at, and fire is okay. But overall, I mean, we're looking at around 30, 40, roughly 50 gems per turn at this point. So very, very, very nice gem income. Other than that, I mean, we ping this, more than likely we're going to be hitting this either next turn or the turn after. I assume we're going to be pinging this soon just to try to grab up as many thrones as we can as we wait for our next war or wait for our opportunity for next war. I'm not just saying wait for the next war. We were definitely waiting for an opportunity here. Other than that, we're moving a lot of these troops around. We're preaching over here, just start our Dominion because Colossa had relatively bad Dominion, and we would much rather have our very, very nice scales go over there and definitely increase the amount of income that we make. I know this was a relatively long first turn for the episode, but we had a very major battle at this point between two very large players in the game. Satis being the larger of the two, but Ermor definitely has those strengths, and they're definitely on the back foot in this, taking that very, very heavy loss from that war, or very heavy loss from the fight. As far as I know, Helheim and Argartha are still fighting back and forth. Helheim is raiding, not really taking any fights, whereas Argartha is sitting in their forts since they're not able to be sieged. Sending more site searchers around, and we'll look at research at this point. So we have Conjuration 5, Evocation 3, and Construction 3. Not too bad, but not great either. Definitely not ahead in the game. Trying to go up to Construction 4 so we can go ahead and start making a lot of boosters and a lot of other things like that. Really planning on hitting Construction 6 due to the large amount of fire gems. If I didn't have this many fire gems at this point in the game, more than likely I would have stayed at Construction 4 for a very long time before I ever decided to go up to Construction 6. Just due to the fact of how convenient it is and how big of an opportunity it is for me to take hold of the amount of fire gems I have stockpiling up and actually be able to turn them into lightless lanterns. Because at that point you're spending one fire mage per turn, essentially making another mage, and that other mage is a relatively good researcher, since that lightless lantern that they cost you 5 gems is going in one mage turn is going to then on the next turn not only it's going to give you 14 research in total added on to whatever mage you attach it to. So it's really, really high, very, very nice increase in the amount of research, and it's going to give us a great boost to push us into the late game. Other than that, we have a few water things we want to do. We can definitely easily go up high in water, especially now that we have a water 2 here. What we can do is once we go into Conjuration 6, which we will be doing to try and get lightless lanterns, we can make a water bracelet with any water 1. The water bracelet is going to be a water booster, of course, going up to water 3. While we're at water 3 with the hydro mage or whatever, the water mage, we're going to be able to make robes. That's going to get us to water 4. From there, we can make a Troll King's Court or a River Troll Court or something like that. It's whatever the blue trolls are. Sea Trolls Court. Maybe that's it. But they're going to be able to boost us higher in the water when we decide to start using those gems, which we will shortly, as soon as we get the castle and lab built over here in the conjuration bonus area. Other than that, we have a few nice things we can do with all the earth gems. We'll definitely be able to boost relatively high, and it's pretty awesome that we already have a Earth 2 random and we don't have to wait on a pretender. Earth 2 random can make Earth boots go up to Earth 3, so not too bad. I mean, at that point we'll be able to cast Earthquake already, and that's really, really helpful. Due to the fact of all of our troops, none of our troops will be affected by it, since the entire army that we have here, we have no actual walking troops. So no units on the ground. We have all flyers, so Earthquake is going to be great. Other than that, I don't have anything else to talk about for this turn, so we will head over to the next one. Continue old game, turn 30. Alrighty, here, lots of people searching, but nothing found. We have a small fight here with Satius. Satius taking back their independence, and then us pinging this throne here, which we already pinged one time, and I guess I just wanted to ping again for some reason. Maybe I didn't ping it one time, but maybe I did. I can't remember. So a few events. The captain died. The spider spirit won the death match. I got an alchemist stone awarded as a prize. I just noticed I was at 40 minutes. That's why I'm trying to go relatively fast through these, but I will cover them the best I can. I just didn't want to make these videos too long. I felt like I spent too long on the Satis and Ormor battle, even though it was very, very fun to watch, and it was a very, very big and interesting battle. Actually, we did find two sites there in Hall Woods, being a dying forest. So we have death in nature, but increases death, unfortunately. And then Starlight Pond, so really, really good. We did find another site over here, being a mineral cave. So we're definitely got. I mean, this turn we already have an increased 50% in death and increased 50% in astral income, so that's good. Other than that, you see, we will be attacking the throne next turn, and we are bringing our troops from all over. We also, I should have checked mercenary tab last turn. I forgot to. We did put a bid on a few mercenaries, but I think they were very, very, very cheap, and that's also one of the main reasons why we did it, because of how cheap they were, because no one's been buying them lately. And they are going to be in the very front line taking any of the arrow fire. Other than that, I'm making earth boots over here. These troops are sneaking. He's sneaking. He's moving to site search somewhere else. He's moving to site search. This unit here is moving to attack the throne. These guys over here are moving to attack the throne. The troops down in Mercs 121 is moving to attack the throne. And if you notice here, we actually also got a nature 2, so we're going to be able to start producing thistle maces, being our nature booster, which is really, really cool. On top of that, once we hit the nature or the Conjuration 5 for the water bracelet, we'll be able to put that on one of the Jade Sorceresses. And on top of that, we'll put the robe on her as well, and at that point she can make a Naiad, which is at Conjuration level 5. It costs 35 water gems, and what that's going to give you, yes, it's going to be a homesick mage, so you can't really move them out too much, but that can definitely be changed, of course. But it's going to be giving you a water 3, nature 3, and those are going to be very, very high pass for us, which are going to be very, very nice. Other than that, we can always cast things like transformation and such to get the homesickness tag off of them, and at that point you're able to move them around and bring them into battles. A lot of people don't know about that. I'm sending our other Jade sources out to search. We have more depth searchers moving around and site searching. We have a whole lot of site searchers, and I really want to increase the amount of gems we are getting. But other than that, the major battle that is about to happen is going to be here in 141. As far as the plans go over here, we are storming the castle this turn, and we will go ahead and take out the last bit of Machaca that he owns over here. I already spoke about us building a palisade. We started our palisade over here in Barter World, being the throne province, and we're site searching as well. So that will be 4 turns until that's completed. We only have 2 more turns at 140. And I believe that's all the building that we currently have going on. And we will go ahead and head over to the next. Well, actually, we'll look at this. I'm trying to hit Evocation 5 first, just to hit Storm. being a very, very nice spell for us to cast, and we can cast it in every battle, and it's not going to harm us at all. It also takes away 50% of the arrow shot, making them very inaccurate, ultimately helping us out due to the fact that we're not using any archers, and some of our enemies might be. And then after that, like I spoke for, we'll be heading to Conjuration 6. I can't remember if I changed that. I might change it to hit Evocation 6 before I hit Conjuration 6, due to the fact that we can already make a skull. What's the name of it? Skull staffs. Because at that point, once we're in Evocation 6, we're going to be able to cast Wailing Winds when any of the Def 2 randoms on the Harab Seraph. That is a very, very good battle, or a very, very good spell, and if it is cast, the longer the battle goes on, the more effect it's going to take, and ultimately making your opponent rout, which would be very, very nice because, if we do go for a long battle, that's going to be a very, very nice thing for us to do. But we will go ahead and go to the next turn and see how these two battles here turn out. I look forward to it. Other than that, you do see us sending a scout over here to ping 135, being the throne over on the northwest side here. Yeah, I'd say northwest, but we do on this, so maybe just west. Let me rephrase that, just west. Soon we should be moving to take the water province here, but I think it's later than sooner. We should have been more on the ball with that, but we were relatively busy cleaning up these thrones. I do see here that several devils and things and imps have taken over this province from Agartha, so we more than likely might be trying to jump on that. I think either this turn or the next turn, Agartha actually told us that we can go ahead and take 33 and 25 due to the fact that he's not able to get to it anytime soon, being in the war that he is currently in. Other than that, we see that Satis is moving towards Ermor, being right over here. This is Ormor's capital. And he's moving out. He's definitely taking the fight to Ermor at this point, due to the fact of the heavy losses Ormor took and him being the aggressive side of the fight or war here. Other than that, Vanheim looks relatively large as well. And I can also tell, which I didn't know this before, is Vanheim is actually attacking Ermor, which I didn't know, which is very interesting. I didn't know this at this point in time in the game. I didn't think this happened till later on, but I guess they were already at war for a short period before that actually happened. And we will go ahead and end the turn, and we will go ahead and look at turn 31. Continue on game, turn 31. 2 magic sites here. 1 death, 1 earth. Nothing, nothing, nothing. We found a magic site over here, being the enchanted field, giving us another nature gem, taking our nature gem income up to 12. Assassination attempt. And we'll just watch this battle real fast. And if you notice, the troop here has an alchemist stone. This is actually the winner from the death match that we lost to earlier, which is very interesting. And the person that he has decided to attack is our Eel King, that is filled up with a few gems, along with him being in our dominion. So hopefully enough, the spider is going to be having a very bad day here shortly, with the amount of air elementals that the Eel King will be making. It looks like, I don't know if it's due to the fact of the troop having the stupid tag or not, but he has stopped attacking. The elementals are coming in and dealing a decent amount of damage to him, while also having to deal with starfires. The elementals, I like how he uses every single gem he has here, and then the spider just dies. And I was like, great, great. Other than that, we will go ahead and watch the rest of the battles. Very interesting if he would have actually killed our Eagle King here, and the Eagle King wouldn't have been able to take part of the fortress fight. That would have been very worrisome for us, definitely, and very good on his side. So first fight here against Sacred, or against the Indie throne. We see Enkidu archers. We see a lot of springhawks, which we could tell before. We can see a lot of Amazons, a lot of Enkidu warriors. We see a really, really powerful pretender chassis here with lots of air gems, and he is a air mage level 8, so he is very, very powerful. We also see a lot of Pegasus riders, Crystal Priestess, some sorceresses. So very, very interesting, very, very scary throne. Oh, oops. And that's what the throne holds. At this point, I assume that is the Throne of Air, which is a 2-point throne, even though this is a larger one. That's the only thing I can think of it being. Then we have a battle over here in Norianthan, and we will go ahead and watch that. Now, this is the other throne battle that we have going on. These are all of our mercenaries here in the front to take the blunt of all the archer fire that is going to be exchanged back and forth. And all of these mages are going to be on attack rear. That is our Eagle King casting Mist, hopefully making the arrows or the horse archers have less precision. So that as far as their precision goes, I mean they have usually a 9 precision, and it's going to be cut down to 5. So they might not be able to hit much of anything, honestly. And with the elephants going in, they're doing a very good job, but all of the cavalry are going to be able to get their first strike lance charges off on them, which is very bothersome. And we're casting air elementals while our troops are just mowing away on the troops in the back line here. The elementals are tearing them apart, and the rest of them have jumped in, taking a few hits there. And then they have also jumped in on all the cavalry. At this point, I feel like the cav they just don't have enough. They're not in a line. They're just too surrounded. There's Caelum troops in the middle of the cav square here. It seems the elephant is paralyzed for 18 more. And that's going to be the last of it. And that is going to be another throne added along with added on to the Caelum Empire here. We see a Satis and Ermor battle here. It looks like Satis attacked Ermor and bounced off just due to the fact of him having so many troops in there and also having fairly decent province defense. And then finally we have the battle everyone's been waiting for so long now, since we've been sieging forever. Literally probably the last 10 to 15 turns we've been, or I think it's actually been 15 turns we've been sieging this place. A lot of terracotta warriors from the mages being sitting in the province for so long. All of the little pygmy archers, which are pretty cool. They're so tiny. We'll go ahead and play. I think we've already killed the mages. There is a hyena mage, which was a chain-shaped mage, and something else. I think it might have been a Lion King. I'm not sure. And this is us just taking out the last bit. And the archers here are going to do a fair amount of damage, since we're not able to attack a lot of them at one time. But yeah, they are routed though, but they still are shooting arrows here and there, so it's very worrisome for us. But we are cleaning them out. So overall, we lost 35 troops, 25 being Spirehorn warriors, and we took the castle from them. So not too bad. They had a were hyena, which had some decent paths, and they also had a Buddha here. So very interesting. So now that we have taken this throne, we are claiming it. Our mercenaries are moving out. We're site searching, building a palisade, and our other troops are moving out. Just go ahead and get them out of there. Other than that, the same thing is going on here. We're moving troops around and such. I feel like at this point I actually changed this turn, or I edited afterwards, because this wasn't the plan after or before that. I think the plan more was like something along these lines actually. And we started, or I considered going ahead and started taking some pieces off of Ermor. I can't remember how true that is. That could possibly have been another turn. or a couple of turns. If you notice now that we are actually putting all of our gems to good use, making a skull staff, we're making a winged helmet, which is a air booster, some storm spools, which will help us make corpse constructs, which will also give lightning resistance if we need it. We're making more thistle maces, so we're making one over here, and we're making another one over here. And with our very, very large stockpile of gems, we don't really have to worry about it. I'm not by that fact, but I'm making more earth boots over here just to have them. More searching, more searching. And we will go ahead and go to turn 32, which will be the final turn for this episode. Alrighty then. And I was correct. That is what we decided to do. I must have put my turn on unfinished and then came back and edited it. So we found 2, found 3, we found 4 magic sites. And we will go ahead and look in. We have a deep crevasse, which is a earth 1. We have a ancient temple, which is a holy site to find. And then we have a mineral cave, which is another earth site. And we found a site in Bugger World. We found a overgrown graveyard, which is death and nature, so that's really cool. If you notice, our death income already came up to 6. Nature's at 13. Astral's at 6. Earth's at 13. Water's at 11. Air's at 10. Fire's at 9. So I mean, we're probably up to around 60 gem income now on turn 32, which is really nice. So what's going on here? We have our mercenaries going to attack the imps and the devils. Then we have a lot of our other troops moving around, making a lot of storm spools, forging some endless bags of wine. What else are we doing? Girl of Might. We are forging a good amount of things, actually. We're still building a fortress over there. I'm moving someone over to make a lab on there. We're producing more and more mages every turn. At this point, producing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 every turn, and then, well, actually 8 every turn since Capital's on something other than Eagle King. So we're increasing our research very fast, and we're making a lot of mages very, very quickly. 2 more turns where I have Evocation 6 and Wailing Winds, along with some other things. We're side searching some more, of course. And I will show the battles before. I forgot to, I jumped out of it. Ormor winning another battle raiding against Atis. We will head over there and look at that. Not too bothersome at this point. I mean, I guess it is just trying to be bothersome. But I mean, Satis is just moving in and it looks like he's about to storm this fort. So it's putting Ermor in a place where he can't come back from if he starts taking these forts away from him, and Ermor's not able to leave his capital. So, which is really scary. Having an army that large beside your capital, and then the enemy's capital, or if I was Ermor and the enemy capital is just so far away, it's putting him into a point where it's rather scary for him. Other than that, I'm moving our troops over to take this farmland, being the promised land in 53. We took this, which is a lab here. This is a very, very nice province here, being Graveyard of Bones, being 1 death, 2 death, 1 fire, 2 astral. So that's really, really nice. I'll have 5 gem side altogether. And I did kind of take things into consideration when I jumped on Ermor, being mostly on the fact that he can't actually fight me back. Since he has no way of actually getting to me other than maybe being in the winter time, but he took Heat 3, so I doubt he'll even be able to hit me then. And if he kills these small groups of Spirehorn warriors and the 1 Eagle King, oh well. I caused him a lot of pain. More than likely ended up taking him out of the game because of this. Just this raiding that I'm doing, kind of almost helping Satis out in a way. Not necessarily. I wouldn't want to help my enemy out, but either way, 19 and 68 income. I just want to try to take as much as I can to put pressure on this throne. So more than likely, I can hopefully grab it at one point later on, or might make it easier for me to grab. Other than that, he still has a lot of troops left. If he was able to actually bring these troops together, he might be able to put up another force that'd be strong enough to take on this Satis army. But other than that, it's interesting. Maybe if all of his troops were together, but it's just not a single Bane. Interesting. So, Gartha did tell us that we can go ahead and start taking this stuff. So, which is good. Go ahead and get a few more promises. At this point, we broke over 3,000 income a turn, which is really, really nice. And these are the battles where we attacked Pythium, or Ermor here. I don't know why I want to keep calling him Pythium. Just PD, nothing to worry about. I doubt we lost 2 troops. And then we have another one here, and it's just us fighting PD. Some events happened, unrest and magic. We finished Evocation 5. We're trying to hit 6. Things are going relatively well for us, and that will be the last episode for this week's series, or part of the series. So really, really interesting. At this point, we're sitting at 4 throne points, being the Golden Throne, which we didn't actually look at this. Golden Throne, which gives us 200 gold per turn, spreads the minion, and gives us an Adept of the Golden Order, which is a really, really great mage to have, an Astral 2, which has a bunch of different randoms, and a Fire 2 path. Fire 2 is really good because as far as we only have Fire 1s. And then our other throne here, which I should have gone over these as soon as we took them, is the Iron Throne, which is very interesting. It produces 100 resources. We get the Adept of the Iron Order, which is basically the same mage, but instead of fire, they have Earth 2, which is really cool. So we didn't need to wait on Pretender from having this as either, from not only having the random off the Eagle King, but having this. And it makes us have more powerful Astral Mages, and they have fairly decent paths as well. They're also they're decent researchers, but as far as our gold to research cost, our research monkeys are cheaper. These guys also cost 2 turns to recruit, same as the other guys over here. So looking very, very good for us. I want to make sure and click through just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm still doing site searching. Lots and lots of site searching. We're making another winged helmet. Oh, or no, these are winged shoes. These are the items that we have accumulated so far. Just to go ahead and set them out. I think later on I do sort them, but so altogether we already have 6 path boosting items, along with a few other items that we have accumulated. I think it's funny that even though we ended up losing the death match, we still ended up getting the prize regardless. So that was interesting. Yeah, at this point we're just trying to hit 53 in order for us to take that and kind of be a lot closer here, which I know I've already said that and I'm repeating myself, but having the castle here in 71 is also very threatening to the position we have taken or decided to take with this. I just assume that his troops would more than likely be moving to the castle, or the troops in the castle and these troops here would be moving to the Misty Forest, trying to regroup with what army they have in the capital. I can also see that Agartha has shamans of their own, which is very interesting, and they're coming from this province right here, from what I assume. So, very tempted to have that. I'm still seeing some thrones that haven't been taken. There's one there, that one there, of course. I don't think this one's been taken yet. And honestly enough, I don't think either one of these have been taken. This one possibly could have been taken, but I'm pretty sure this one hasn't been taken. So, and then you have Vanheim trying to take this one. And I think this is Ermor's other one right here. So, very, very interesting. A lot of stuff up for grabs at the moment. Lots of very interesting things happening. I will talk about the movement before we end the turn, of course. Um, Still moving a lot of mages here and there. I'm doing a lot of site searching movement. This is what all these lines are for here. Moving some troops around, maybe. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go and pick up some more troops over here and move out against Ermor. Looks like our main forces here are also heading down to Ermor. Our prophet is going west. He's sitting there researching. It could be a strong possibility that I don't even plan on bringing any extra troops against Ermor just as a raiding force. Because I mean, I'm not worried about him attacking me at all. We're taking Turtle Glades, which is 16, sneaking around, moving these troops back to Colossa. And that's about all that's going on. Not too many, like, I mean, yeah, we have the battle over here in the Promised Land being 53. But other than that battle, I mean, we really don't have anything going on. Lots and lots of troop movement. Still not making Eagle Kings, which is more than likely a very big mistake for us. We should have done that. Should have done that. But I probably felt like the troops were more worth it at the point, and that's probably why I maxed out the amount of Spirehorn warriors I can make. Just to kind of have a stronger force to bring to the battlefield, of course. Even though bringing the Eagle King would have been probably much better than all those Spirehorn warriors due to the fact they can make air elementals or cast things like Storm and the rest of it. I missed all those nice things. And that's all we're gonna have for this episode, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Always make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I should be making another national overview video. On top of that, I think I might try to branch out into another game one day. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. I've been very, very busy lately. I've been trying my best to keep up with this stuff, but it's a lot of fun. Been having a lot of commenters lately. They're very, very nice, of course. So that's always really, really good. As far as my games are going, currently, I've been enjoying them. Recently won another game as Ermor. That was my second win as Ermor, actually, so it was very, very fun. And then I lost one as Ermor to a buddy I played with. He's a really cool guy, knows a good bit. He's playing End. That was a pretty interesting game. I was not seeing the Throne Rush coming. I kind of knew what was happening, but by the time I got around to it, I was already too late. So it was very unfortunate. I was playing that game for a good while. Other than that, I haven't really started any games. I actually subbed for 3 games recently. I might post one of those on the channel, but subbing positions are kind of weird. Some of them are late game and stuff, so we'll see. We'll see what we do with that. But yeah, I do enjoy subbing. If anyone's ever interested in getting the game, I mean, I think you definitely should. If you want to wait for a sale, I think you should definitely do that too. I ended up buying mine a couple years after the game came out on a sale, just because it is very expensive. Other than that, make sure if you want to play, I mean, definitely make sure and join the Discord servers like Dominions Game Hub, Clockwork Hounds, Immersion. Um, Lucid has his own server for his YouTube stuff, which he plays a lot of games on there. General Confusion has a server. What? Dominion Nexus is a pretty large server, and there's also some smaller servers out there if that's more your thing. So there's a lot of places you can go and definitely play a lot of Dominion's games. Um, More than likely, most of the community you're going to come across is going to be very, very nice. That's a really great thing about this. But yeah, definitely play a game. I don't know if anyone wants a video on how to start a how to set up a game or how to do the Discord thing and as far as that goes, but I think there's videos out there that cover that, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not that I'm not gonna worry about it, but I don't want to kind of uh, beat a dead horse, I guess, or whatever that saying's called. It's like doing the same thing over and over again, or doing the same thing everyone else is doing. Um, I've been noticing a lot of the Dominion YouTubers have been coming out with national overviews lately. Perun's been coming out with a lot. Lucy came out with a couple. Just it's just cool. It's cool. Um, I don't mind. It's kind of whatever. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, I guess. If you guys enjoy my stuff, be sure to keep watching for sure. I really enjoy it. I've been getting a decent amount of views lately. My next goal, as far as goals go, is hitting 100 subscribers, which would be really really cool. I think I'm at like 70 some. I think I'm almost at 80, which is pretty awesome. So other than that, I mean, this is just me rambling on. If you guys want to quit watching, that's fine too. That's just me talking about things, of course. I'm thinking about other games. I've been wanting to play EA Zabalba or any Zabalba, and actually, but I haven't decided yet. More than likely, it's going to be the EA version. They'll be playing them for the first time. And I think I've tested them out before in single player, but I've never played them in multiplayer. So I look forward to starting a game with one of them, but I haven't started any or signed up for any yet. Oop, I had a hiccup there. But other than that, I mean, I don't really plan on playing any Water Nations. That's just really not the way I like to play. It could be interesting just to try it. I haven't quite decided. Uh, been very busy. Discord has been fairly busy as well. I've been trying to make a lot of games the last week or so. I think I made like 8 games. I think all of them's already started like one last couple of days. So that's been keeping me very busy, but it's all right. I don't mind if I'm able to make a couple of games for someone to find enjoyment out of them. I mean, even if it takes me a little while to do it, um, at least I can bring enjoyment to someone with a game that I also enjoy. Trying to just share, I guess. So, but yeah, definitely come check out Dominion's Game Hub. I usually play most of my games on there. If you ever want to play a game with me, you'll probably see me on one of the recruiting channels. um, so, and I always host a lot of noob games. I'm a very, very big noob game hoster. Actually, I just host a lot of games, but I, I don't think there's anyone else that hosts as many noob games as I do. They all fill up relatively fast. There's always a lot of people wanting them. So there is that. If you're new to the game, I would definitely recommend joining one of those. The new, or I wouldn't say new, but they're just the only requirements I require for those games is that you've never won a game before. And it's more of an honor system thing. I mean, it's not you ever won a single player game, so if you ever won a multiplayer game, in which winning a multiplayer game is actually very, very tough to do. You would be very, very surprised if it is your first time coming in to everything, I guess. It takes a good bit. Um, so, definitely seen a lot of noobs come or play, and I see them a lot. Not just noobs, but like people that play my games. That's what I'm meaning by that. I'm not calling them bad players or anything, but I mean, I see a lot of people that play in games, and I talk to them and stuff, and have sort of a connection in that way. And just see them all around the server and stuff, and so it's always really cool. I remember when a lot of the players started is really interesting, even though I haven't really been into the servers as long as a lot of people have. But I mean, I'm like admin and other things here and there. Um, usually have a couple of roles or something along those lines. Um, so I get to know a good bit of people. But either way, I'll go ahead and stop talking. Of course, we'll end this turn, and so I hope you guys have a great one. See you next week, same time, of course. I usually post early in the morning, normally around 10 or 7 o'clock, usually 7 to 10 o'clock in the morning for me, Eastern Standard Time, of course. Other than that, I don't have too much to say. I try my best in keeping up. The reasons I made the extra overview last week is just because I skipped a week. I was very, very busy and I just didn't have time. And I was trying to make it up to you by throwing an extra one out there the other week. So I hope you guys enjoyed. It was M.A. Caelum, I think, and then I did a Patala by L.A. Patala for the Friday video. And that was a lot of fun to do. It's a very, very interesting nation. You guys should go definitely check it out. Um, but regardless, have a great week. This will be posted on Monday, of course. So hope you guys have a great week. See ya.